Today, a real treat, something special, a Christmas gift from my grandma to me. Easy Bake Ultimate Oven. Baking Star Edition, no less. Only the best. Only the best for me. Let's go ahead and take a look at the wank. Food packets made in the USA. That's nice. No trans fat. Good. Now I know what you're thinking. Okay, I'm way ahead of you on this. I know what you're thinking. This is a girl's toy. I'm a boy. Well, that's where you'd be wrong. I mean, you're right. I am a boy. But, yep. No. Where is he? Oh, he's in here somewhere. There. Look. Boy. Any nutrition? Okay, here we go. Nutrition information right here. But I gotta say that is a little bit suspect. It is crossed out. And this did come with a warning from my grandmother, which is you probably shouldn't plug that in. Well, we're going to find out why. We are going to do a teardown with schematic on the Easy Bake Ultimate Oven. And to do that, first things first, going to have to get this bad boy open. Alright, that should do. Thing didn't want to run on its side. Hadn't been started in a while. We'll have to look into that, I guess. Alright, so first things first. Got some food. Looks like we busted it open a little bit. That's okay. I will be cooking this, by the way. We will be making party pretzel dippers. You can bet your bottom dollar we're going to have some of these. That'll be after the teardown, of course, with schematic. Some literature here. UL listed, that's good, as an electric toy. Ages 8+. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we're good there. Hasbro licensed. Okay, we'll come back to this. These are the directions. Oddly complicated. I thought these things were supposed to be simple, but whatever. We'll get back to that. Okay, let's go ahead and pull the oven itself out. Oh, we lost something. A pan. Hand wash only. Looks like just aluminum pan. A notice, attention! Cooking pans to be hand washed and towel dried only. Cupcake pan is not included. Okay, I don't understand why that can only be hand washed. I mean, it's literally just a piece of aluminum. And very nice. This is like a spatula version of a spork. Goes both ways. This is the pushing. There's some arrows here indicating a pushing motion. Some clips. It looks like some sort of positive locking mechanism going on here. That'll be interesting to figure out. Okay. Get this box out of the way. Alright, there it is. Let's look at the cord. It's like a, yeah, just a regular two conductor cord. 105C, 18 gauge. Oh, that, I want to look at the electrical information here. I remember seeing it on the box. on here somewhere. There it is. Okay. 120 volts, AC only, 100 watts, 60 hertz. Okay, so 100 watts. So I think there's a 100-watt light bulb in here. I heard this is how these work, but you know, we're gonna have to wait and see. Go ahead and pop it open. Okay, well, I guess. Oh, well, that sucks. That's just a terrible disappointment. The door doesn't even open. On-off switch. Feels good in the hand. Very beefy. Very beefy switch. It's high quality stuff. Probably an Omicron, something like that. Looks like the clock is stuck. Definitely take a look at that. Well, let's get right into it. Are you kidding me? It's security Torx. They have like a T20 security Torx down in the bottom of this mile-long hole. Jeez. This is working pretty good. That's working pretty good, yeah. You know, as great as that was working, I think I'm gonna switch to this tool. Much safer tool here. Get this cord out of the way. Oh, we hit metal. Oh, it's one of those screw heads. Or the other side. The knot head side. Getting into the meat of it. Oh, okay, here. Alright, we're getting somewhere. I was like, this schematic is going to be even simpler than I thought it was going to be. It was already a joke to make a schematic. Okay, here we go. Alright, some sort of rotary switch. 2 positions. We'll definitely be opening it up. It looks like it's got full 120 based on the... Now, why is this, the white wire so much bigger than the black wire? That's interesting. We'll see that. I feel like that must have, this looks like it's just the cable, just the cord that plugs in the wall, just like spliced in half or cut in half. But I'm not sure. I can't really tell. But it very well could be. Clock. Ah, looks like that's definitely busted. See, I don't think there's any fixing that. But I can see down in there now. I can see a little bit of wires. Looks like there's some kind of a metal cage in this area. I think I just got to get this face off. I think this screw is holding it together now. Wow, that's really hot. That's very, very hot. Okay, alright, note to self. Melting plastic is hot. Just keep that in mind as we continue. Okay. So it looks like we'll get our spatulator. There's a little door there. You see the door? Looks like, and then what, can it go all the way? Yes, it can. Okay, so it can push through. Alright. It's interesting. But it stops. It stops over here. It catches somehow. Is it catching on the... Yeah, it won't, I can't get my... I can't get it all the way. Oh, it's over here. Is it? What is going on? Yeah, okay, alright. See, it's just catching on. It won't go all the way in. We did cut a wire on accident. Good thing this isn't a bomb. Well, not yet. Looks like it's one of the wires for the switches. Okay. Finally, some Phillips screws. Of course, they're way back in there where I'm going to cut myself trying to get them out. I guess that's what we'll do next. I need a bigger hole here so that I can pull the plug back through. It's just not quite big enough. Tough stuff. There we go. Almost. It ate my hammer. There's a little LED. Is that an LED? I gotta stick this one up to my face. Well, let's try this. I don't know how well this will work for y'all. The all-seeing eye. So the all-seeing eye is a little dirty. Is this an LED? And what I want to see is, if I want to see if it's an LED or if it's a an incandescent, is I'm looking for either an anode and a cathode or a filament. Here I see the anode and cathode of an LED, so that is an LED. So there's our 120 coming in. So that's just tangled up mess. The first thing I noticed is a lot of these wires, looks like the wires going to the switch are, I guess, PVC insulated, like what you're used to, some kind of rubber. This is like a rope. Like it's kind of sticky-ish. Like it's got some kind of coating. But it's braided. It's a braided rope, like a rubber rope kind of thing. Interesting choice. I wonder if that's supposed to be heat resistant. Okay, I could see that. Yeah, because this whole apparatus here is going to get hot for sure. So that must be what that is. And these are routed, must be in a way that they're not going to come in contact with this or get too close. Whereas these wires are wires that could potentially come in contact with the body of this. And so that'll help keep it from catching on fire, maybe, I assume. Now I think, you know, I think this box is just... Is there a wire? What is in this box? Yeah, we're gonna have to just... I just want to go ahead and open this up, because I think that those connections are just spliced in there. Ah, here we go. Okay. Look, we are gonna have to have a schematic. Diode, couple resistors. That is an LED. It's a big LED. Got line and neutral coming in. Don't know the values of those off the top of my head. What I assume is happening here is it's dropping, you know, maybe that's a Zener diode and it's dropping, you know, 5 volts across it, and then it's running that LED with it maybe. We will take a closer look at that. Okay, and some crimps. Some sort of crimp. I didn't know this. I learned this recently. Crimps are better electrical connections than solder joints, which I wouldn't have thought before, but apparently a good crimp, it should do like a cold solder, where it's effectively melting the two pieces of metal through the friction of you crimping it together. And it should be better because it's got the physical hold of a crimp and the electrical fusing that happens with the crimp. So the hot's going to be the smaller. See these two spades? One of them's bigger. Some appliances don't designate that. Some of them will work either way, but this one is it only works one way, polarized. This is a polarized unit, I guess. Okay, so it looks like they've bought in a switch. Rotary switch with some detents. That's a lot of detents. Can it rotate? No, it only has two positions. Well, yeah, only two positions. We can see the stranded wire coming in. Looks like it makes contact with some metal. Okay, so this is actually, you can make two connections with this switch. They've only used one in this case. I would assume we've got one normally open and one normally closed. It says on the back here, 6 amps, 125 volts AC. You know what? Actually, let's not break that open. That could be useful. I'm going to keep that. Yeah, pretty thin stuff. 18 gauge stranded. Goes into our heating apparatus. I guess this brass bushing is supposed to be insulated from the actual conductor inside the wire, and this one is too. But I don't know, it looks bad, but maybe it isn't. Because it looks like if this is shorted with that bushing and this is shorted with that bushing, then they're going to short directly across here. Which, you know, this thing does not have a fuse in it, does it? I have not seen a fuse. So unless there's one in here, there is no fuse. So if it goes wrong, it's just wrong. You burn down the playhouse. This whole thing just made of stamped metal. Okay, alright. So, some kind of an insulator, maybe is that mica maybe? Plasticky. And then inside just a big spool of nichrome wire with that same insulator separating the coils. Now how do they connect the wire, the conductor, to the nichrome wire? I can see there it's like inside the wire, but I don't know how that connects. All right. So that's interesting. Is there like another... There's a little wire right there that goes between here it goes between the two. That's odd. What is that little guy there? I see Jet, JE240, and then it looks like a degrees Celsius. 240. That's pretty hot. 250 volts. I gotta get that under the all-seeing eye. Change this camera battery. SE Fuse. Never heard of that brand, but I assume they make fuses. 10 amps, 240C. Yeah, because there's no way this gets 240C and cuts on. That's way too hot. Be like, I don't know what that'd be. I don't know what that is in freedom, but it's a lot. So yeah, that's just a fuse. Okay, so if you look right here, there is some fraying on the outside of this wire against that sharp edge there. Now here we have bushings that keep it from fraying. Here we do not. I don't know that that's necessarily a good idea. I will say, I mean, yeah, that's just not a good idea, to be honest with you. That should have a bushing. Because when this thing gets jostled around, even though it is a small wire, it will move, and eventually it could wear through there. And that's not, I mean, it's after the fuse, but still not a big fan. Okay, I'm really interested to see what happens here, especially with this guy. I don't know what his deal is, but we're going to find out. And I want to see this thing get hot. And what I want to see, does the little spring get hot because this is hot, or does the little spring get hot because there's electricity going through it? I think it just gets hot because there's a nichrome, I assume nichrome wire on the inside of it. Only one way to see. I'll plug in this thing. Okay. We got a white light. Don't see anything happening. Feel some heat. There's some heat coming off of that. Little discoloration there. Still not on fire. Very disappointing. Oh, we got a little ember there. But yeah, that is not that hot. Not at all. Oh well, time to make some pretzels.
Les poils étaient pignons, les vitons j'étais, et les jantons les oppas, les chisons l'étaient, en poids je les temps, les tispons les longs, mon dans les oppas, les gens les oppas, les gens les douilles, on les les dons, j'ai des oppas, oppas, oppas.